Welcome, Leo. This is Jean with Rebel Yell Rising, and this is your July 2017 reading. I want to say thanks for joining me. I am doing my readings a little bit differently. I felt moved to kind of try and focus on what we could glean to give you guys, to give the viewers messages that will help empower you, right? So not so much predictive, but what will strengthen you? What can you lean on within yourself, right? To help you stand more in your power. So I am using the Isis Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild for this month's reading. And it is a lot deeper than normal. In a sense that these messages are very spiritual in nature, right? And the reason we talk about spiritual issues is because they are the core of everything. As within, so without, right? So if you're experiencing, a shaky outer world, it's because the foundation is not right, or because there are changes in your inner foundation. Just like in the earth, right? When things are shifting way below the surface, we experience the outer manifestation, which is an earthquake. Okay? So, this is a 5-card spread, and let's see what we have. The first card for you guys is the spiritual issue for you for July. The Brother in Darkness. Okay, give me a second. And I am referencing her deck, her guidebook, because her messages are so intense. I want to make sure I get it right. So, this card is saying that the spiritual issue for you is to kind of let you know that there's negative energy present because you are moving more deeply into your feminine divine power. The Brother in Darkness indicates that there is negative energy either within you or outside of you, but it is directed towards you, that is providing you with a spiritual test. You will overcome this energy with grace and triumph. Stay in your heart. There is no need to be afraid. Your guidance is to rise above fear, anger, jealousy, or hatred within you or directed towards you. Feminine strength is to be fiercely compassionate and to not judge or resist out of fear. Compassion is great strength, right? Compassion is wisdom. And regardless if you're a male or female, this is asking you to strengthen the feminine energy in you by not returning fear or anger or hatred back towards wherever it's coming from. If you have been feeling this sort of inner angst and anger and frustration within you, it's saying to have compassion for yourself, love yourself, strengthen your feminine energy, and we all have masculine and feminine energy, and they both need to be strong to be in harmony. Nurture your feminine energy and strengthen it, right? Rely on your feminine strength by having compassion and not judging yourself. Likewise, if this outer negative energy is coming, if the negative energy is coming from an external source, right? Maybe there's a coworker who just for some reason is just completely snotty to you for no reason and just cannot stand you and hates you and is, nasty to you. Don't judge it. Just accept it for what it is and understand that you don't need to respond to them the way they're acting towards you. To rely on your feminine energy, your feminine strength, by embracing the situation with compassion. Not pity, but compassion for them also. Okay? So, the spiritual issue for you guys for the month of July is one of having compassion towards any negative energy that is being directed towards you. All right. How you can best heal this in your day-to-day life. Divine Destiny. Okay, I just had this card too, but give me a second. I want to look this one up to make sure I get it right. Okay, how you can best heal this in your daily life. The divine warrior energy exists within men and women as the inner propulsion to continue with a worthy path even when times are difficult. When you're faced with a challenge, a true warrior will summon more of him or herself to the cause. That could be more wisdom, more focus, more intelligence, and then surrender into the divine. The warrior within has great inner resourcefulness and determination, and that is going to lead you to spiritual success. So the divine warrior, what it's saying is that in your daily life, to, again, let that divine warrior energy exist, kind of summon more of your strength, right? And it's kind of going very nicely with that first card you had. So how to heal daily is to summon more patience, summon more focus, and when you're going through a really tough time, like muster that inner warrior, right? Let that inner warrior come out, not in an aggressive way with weapons of anger, with weapons and strength of aggression or dominance, but spiritual weapons of faith and perseverance, intelligence, right? And these will help you get closer to your spiritual path. And whether or not you think you're on a spiritual path, you are. We all are. It's just whether or not we recognize it or not. Okay. Now the blessing for Leo for the month of July is the Pyramid of Light. Okay, so this is about psychic protection and stepping your vibration deeper into love, which is really interesting. Your reading is kind of flowing very seamlessly so far. So, the Pyramid of Light card, it's saying that as your inner light is shining brighter, there are darker energies that are being attracted to your light, right? And the blessing for you is that there is going to be this realization that no one, no person, no entity in physical form or non-physical form can interfere with your energy unless you give them permission, right? I feel like July is going to be a really deep month for you guys. So there's going to be the blessing for you guys in this month is going to be somewhat like of an epiphany where you realize that no one can make you angry unless you choose to get angry, right? No one can make you feel like crap unless you allow yourself to feel like crap. And on a deeper level, you have free will. Every human has free will. That's one of our divine gifts, right? And as your frequency is rising, there are darker energies that are going to be attracted towards you and probably already have been. And it could very well be why it seems like there's been a lot of negative energy directed towards you. And that negative energy could manifest in many, many shapes and ways and forms. So this is a general reading. So if you meditate, if you pray, if you do tarot cards, if you are a channel or a medium and, you connect with spirit, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot of you guys out there, make sure that you shield yourself. And if you start to get that like yucky feeling that there's like, you just maybe a little anxious or a little bit of like nervousness, or you start to get afraid while you're connecting with spirit, that's negative energy interfering, right? Always, before you start any work like that, shield yourself and remember to sort of set the intention that only angelic beings can intervene, or, only messages from divine, guidance, or for divine healing, or from unconditional love may come through. Something along those lines, right? And if you feel that yucky feeling, set up your boundaries, right? Like, set the intent. Because negative energy, darker energies cannot interfere with you unless you give it permission. And that could be consciously or subconsciously. So don't be afraid of the darker energy. Just like the brother in darkness was saying, right? Don't fight fear with fear. Don't fight anger with fear. But step more into love and rely on that divine feminine energy, and have compassion. Don't judge it, but have compassion for it, because that negative energy is seeking to, it cannot get to that higher vibration at which you are, and it can't get to that higher frequency at which you are, which is why it's attracted to you. So have compassion for the energy. Don't fear it, don't pity it, but have compassion, okay? And so that's the gift for you guys. I feel like there's going to be this realization, and probably for more of you guys, I feel like it's going to be more of like on a physical sense, this kind of realization that you are the one that is in control, and that no one can interfere with your emotions or energy unless you allow them to. All right, and that's a pretty big gift. All right, this next card, let me see. Oh, the biggest challenge for you, Leo, for the month of July. The Goddess of 10,000 Names. This one's been coming up a lot. So, I'm going to use the example I used for, I think it was Cancer. Goddess of 10,000 Names is sort of understanding that we each, like actors, we each play many roles in our lifetime, but that role does not define you. No matter if that role of father or mother spanned 30 years, or even like, well, let me use something else. Okay, so say you were a teacher. Say you were a teacher, right, for 20 years, and then you retired. Well, that's something that you did. That's not who you are, right? You played the role of a teacher. And what this is saying is that you can have more than one role because it doesn't define you. So the challenge for you, Leo, is to really understand that you are not your job. You are not your career. You are a human being wearing almost like you're an actor, one set of clothes to play the part of a teacher. And when that's done, or when you don't want to play that part anymore, you take off the teacher outfit, and then you now put on the clothes and uniform of a priest, or a pastor, or a teacher, or or a retired person, right? And you just be. You are not what you did. You are not what you do as terms of like, in terms of like a job or career. That those are just identities, but that's not who you are. It's kind of like your name. Like, it's a way that we use to identify a person so that we can pick them out of a crowd or talk to them or get their attention, but it's not who you are on a soul level. And that's the challenge for you guys for this month, is to sort of come to an understanding that you are so much more than whatever uniform you happen to be wearing or what you've been doing for the past 20 years. You are still so much more than that. Okay. And this last card is the guidance for you from your higher self or your guides. All right, the truth unveiled. Okay, let me look this one up really fast. I really do appreciate your guys' patience while I look these up. All right. So this speaks to appearances of people, places, and things that are deceptive. You will sense this when something feels uncomfortable within you. When you notice that you feel anxiety or doubt, like when you're talking to somebody and, even though they're smiling on your face and they seem like a great person, but, there's something you just can't put your finger on. You might think that there's something wrong with you, but actually you're intuitively realizing that not everything is the way it seems. Be wise and trust your inner feelings rather than being convinced by outward appearance. There's a situation in your life, especially involving relationships, where something is not as it seems. To avoid undue suffering later on, Isis is guiding you to truth and revelation now. So, to make this seem a little less scary, this could be anything in any form. This could even just be like a job, an ad in Craigslist, and you go in thinking that you're getting hired for, or you're applying for an office manager, but they really want a salesperson, right? So that's an example. So it's not nefarious and it's not dangerous or malicious. It's just something that is not, something is deceptive. Something is being hidden from you. And with this card popping up, it's indicative that you, Leo, were probably already sensing it. Something, all right? So as I was reading this card, pay attention to whatever popped up into your mind. If there was like a person that popped into your mind, if something kind of was just like, oh, all of a sudden you were thinking about, an invitation to a party that you got, right? Maybe that's just what popped into your mind. Well, this is saying, don't talk yourself out of it. How many times have things gone wrong and after the fact, people are like, well, I kind of really thought something was sketchy with that insert, here, with that person, place, or thing. But I thought it was me. I thought I was just being paranoid. I thought I was being weird. So I did it anyways, or I went anyways, or I met that person anyways, and now I realize I should have listened to my gut. Leo, this is telling you to listen to your gut. Something is being hidden. And much like we were talking about here, that like beings of unconditional love, when they are coming through readings, when they are coming through and giving messages, if you go to a psychic and they are getting messages from angelic beings, the divine, they will always be uplifting. They will always give you hope. They will be optimistic, and they will not put fear in you. They will not reduce you to anxiety or concern, all right? So, keeping that in mind, relationships with our loved ones, our mom, our dad, our spouse, our twin brother, our twin sister, right? No matter how much they love us, they are still human beings. And consciously or subconsciously, Everybody has their own agenda. If you are contemplating moving across country, or you're thinking about it, and someone else is like on your bandwagon and like, yes, you should move. Yes, definitely. Oh, that's a great idea. You'd be so happy. Well, what motives does that person have to cheer you on? Right? Consider the source. So that's families and relationships. Guys, I'm not saying that everybody's lying to your face. Clearly not. I'm just saying that as you're going through your day, as you're speaking to people, as you are responding to messages on email, as you're taking phone calls, listen to your body. Pay attention to your gut. Slow down a little so that you can really absorb what they're putting out to you. And that something, somewhere in some part of your life, something is being hidden from you. Okay? So, Leo, without a doubt, I feel like this has been the most intense reading so far. So, the spiritual issue for you guys for the month of July is to step into love, right? There is anger being directed at you. There is fear possibly being directed at you, rage, sadness, whatever it is. And I'm not saying it's everything. For everybody, it's going to be different. But there are some negative energies being directed at you, and this might even be coming from within you. Look at how you feel about yourself, right? And instead of judging, instead of getting angry and returning fire, embrace your feminine energy, strengthen the divine feminine that is within all of us, and have compassion, right? That is feminine strength. Feminine strength doesn't hurt. It doesn't fire back. It loves, it nurtures, because that will overcome fear. Love always wins. Always, 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 right? So that's what the spiritual issue is for you guys, is to know how to deal with the negative energy that is being directed towards you. On a daily basis, Monday through Sunday, Sunday through Monday, or you know what I mean, in your everyday life, the way that you can deal with this, heal that energy on your day-to-day life, is to also nurture the divine warrior within you, right? And muster more endurance, muster more stamina, grit your teeth, and muster that courage to keep going on. The gift that is going to be bestowed upon you is psychic protection via stepping your vibration deeper into love, having compassion for those negative energies, and not being afraid, not giving your permission, and by loving. That is your gift for the month of July. The biggest challenge for you, Leo, is to really understand on a deeper level that you are not the roles that you have been playing throughout your life. You are so much more than that. You are the divine, right? You are a spark of God here on earth. That is so much more than teacher, brother, mother, uncle, soldier, pet walker, right? Those are ways that the divine is manifesting into the world through you. And the message for you from your higher self and guides is that there is something that is being hidden from you. There's a deception in a certain part of your life, and for you to be conscious of it. All right, Leo, that is your reading for July. I truly hope that this reading was resonating for you guys, that it maybe brought some clarity, and that it is going to give you some tools that you can use to lean on and rely on during this month of July. All right. Again, I appreciate all the likes, the subscribes, and the shares, and I will see you guys next month. Bye.